So I started the van life 2017, 2018, and I didn't want to broadcast the fact that I was living out of a van. I didn't tell anyone. That's my shower. I just fill up, wash off, soap up, wash off, good to go. So there's a cost to this life. There's a reason everyone lives in a house, isn't there?
Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're meeting up with James, otherwise known as the Magic Marine.
He's an ex-Marine and he's been living full-time in his van for 7 years. We hope you enjoy the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments what you think. Back to it.
I'm James. I get called the Magic Marine, as in the Royal Marines. I was Royal Marines Commando and I became a magician, professional performer, and I've been living out of this Volkswagen Crafter probably for the last 7 years, something like that. Choosing van life, it was pre-2013 my parents had a camper van, and in 2013 my dad took retirement and just got like a V-dub T5 kitted out, and this was at the start of the year. They had a ferry booked to Spain in June and he got diagnosed with cancer in the February, and 10 weeks and he had passed. And I thought, he's worked his whole life, he's taken his retirement and he wanted to go traveling, and then it just didn't happen. And I thought, I can't do that with my life. I can't just be working for a retirement that I'm not going to see. I've always liked the adventure. I was in the military. I like surfing and traveling, and the van just facilitates that. I know it's a real tricky one, and for some reason I'm in this massively privileged position where I'm able to do this, and my lifestyle, it kind of goes into each other. And I think, so if you get stuck in the conventional life of the 9 to 5, you'll never be able to get a break to be able to go and do this. But because I'm doing this, I'm able to facilitate this lifestyle a lot easier. The thing that started me off living in a van was when I left the military. So I left the military and I bought the van with the intention of traveling and having a period of time traveling in the van before starting the next chapter. But the next chapter has been this. You know, it's this has just carried on for a lot longer than I thought it was gonna. So I started the van life probably 2017, 2018, at the same time that I started this unintentional career into being a professional performer with the Magic. And I didn't want to broadcast the fact that I was living out of a van in case someone was wanting to book me for a wedding and they had a misconception about what someone lived in a van was like. I didn't tell anyone. It's been like real direct and stuff, but I think and I can see why it's true, but people living in a van, maybe their hygiene's not so great, maybe they're not washing every day, you know, which is, in some cases it will be the case, and in other cases like it doesn't have to be. I think the Marines have a reputation for like having like 5 showers a day, and I think I've got something where like I have to be washing all the time anyway, plus I'm in the water all the time. I guess I didn't want someone judging me that I'm living in a van, I'm going to be smelly, like I guess smelly or weird would be the things. And I guess to some people I probably am smelly and weird, but yeah, so I don't mind sharing about it. One, I've tailed off the Magic a lot, and two, I'm moving in a different direction now, with moving into the wellness and that sort of stuff. Everyone who follows me knows that I surf, knows that I adventure, knows that I'm in and out the water all the time. And with a lot more people do it, like van life is cool now, so I don't mind. It's almost like I'm looking at all these van lives and I kind of want to be like, hey, I do van life too. I think it must be like ego, it must be something. This is my Volkswagen Crafter. I paid 6,000 for it in 2016, I think it was. Yeah, so it's a long wheelbase and it's 4.3 meters in the back. And I just wanted, there's sort of two things that I was looking for in the van. Was I wanted to be able to stand up in it, and I wanted to have a fixed bed. I didn't want to be pulling a bed back in and out all the time. And I wanted to be able to move around in it. The perfect size for me, yeah. On top, I've just got 2 skylights. I don't have any solar. I've got a split charge to a leisure battery, but like I said, I literally run nothing in the back. I've got 3 LED, 12 volt LED lights, but I don't like them. You know, so I have like an oil lantern, like a proper flame oil lantern, storm lantern, and like I prefer that. It definitely got a simple setup, so I've got like just a wood floor, everything's just timber that I've screwed together, built myself. I much prefer this than, I see all these vans and they're all like real swish, and the thing is, like, I'm chucking a motorbike in the back, I'm chucking surfboards in the back. I use the van if I'm like clearing stuff or like for work and that, and if I had like a nice swish van, I'd get annoyed if I marked the bits, but this, it's like, it's pretty rough and ready, and it's easy, and you can just replace the wood if you need to. One of the reasons that I'd left it like this and not put any windows in this is sometimes if I was driving up the motorway and I needed to sleep somewhere, I could just pull into like a business park and park up against a hangar, and you wouldn't think someone's living in it really. It's a little bit more discreet. I've got the 2 windows in the back, and I've got a side window on the other side, and then I've got the 2 skylights. So it's light enough in the back, but my next plan is to paint it and put a side window in here and change the layout so I've got more of an office space, so I can actually do, you know, it's easier for doing work in the van. I used to have like a 22mm copper like bit of piping for my curtain rail, but then I just preferred the timber. So you used to be able to close the curtains, but they're not that good on this. I've got blackout blinds on the windows though, because that's one thing when you're in the van. If you've got the lights on an evening, people can see in through you. Through the day it's all right, they're kind of blacked out, but on an evening I like to have it blacked out. This side of things, this is
Alright guys, so it wouldn't be possible to continue creating these videos without our paid partners, and today that's 70mi and their new 4K A810 dashcam.
So this is 70mi's latest 4K flagship dashcam with Sony Stravis 2 IMX678 sensor and self-developed HDR algorithm, giving extreme clarity and security.
It's packed with loads of cool features, and it also comes as a front and a rear dashcam with HDR dual channel recording in 4K, which gives wider coverage and better security, and it's also super easy to fit.
So with this camera having the Sony Stravis 2 sensor and the HDR algorithm, it means you get a super high quality, crystal clear image in day and night. So for all the camera nerds out there, this dashcam has an aperture of 1.8, meaning that it pulls in plenty of light for well illuminated recordings. It's what 70mi call the night owl feature, and it means that in the dark, the camera achieves better exposure, colour balance and clarity.
Another cool feature of this dashcam is the Smart Parking Guardian mode. The sensor is Sony's best in class, and it has 70mi's self-developed AI motion detection algorithm, which is able to detect suspicious activity outside the vehicle whilst it's parked, and then it starts recording automatically.
There's also a G sensor which activates automatic recordings when it detects shakes or collisions while parked or driving, as well as a 60 frames per second option, so it's more adaptive for recording in fast motion.
It's also powered by MyColor Vivid Image technology, meaning it further optimises colour accuracy, exposure balance and overall footage quality, even in complex lighting environments.
So thanks to 70mi for sponsoring this video. If you like the look of this 70mi dashcam, head to the links in our description. You can either visit Amazon or go to the 70mi official site. And with that, back to the video.
This is my kitchen on this side, this is my shoe rack on this side. I didn't have the shoe rack initially, and then it's just one of those things that's annoying. Your shoes are always in the way, so I had to build it. And I left both anchor points out so that when I've got the motorbike in the back, I can just strap the back wheel in here. When I've got the motorbike in the van, it takes up all the space and it's a complete pain. And I have to sit on the motorbike when I'm cooking. I sold my bike in November, but we've still got 2 bikes and they're at my mum's garage. Oh, these are like I'm not very good at building stuff, right? That's what I figured out when I was building the van. But that's my tea and coffee in there. And then these are bookshelves, in the bookshelves in there. I don't really use them because they're a pain, and that's why then I've got the fairy lights. I put decking lighting in here just to give myself a little bit of light down on here when I'm doing it, because this is my kitchen. I've got a cooker on this side, and then for washing up, my sink is literally, I just use a metal bowl and I do my washing up in here and I just chuck it out the back, because I don't think there's any point in carrying wastewater. It seems pointless to me. So that's my sink and my cooker. I like to have a work surface. I don't want to have a fixed sink and cooker that are just in the way all the time. Like I want to be able to, if I need to use it for anything, it's the van's such a small space, it's nice to try and be able to utilize areas just for putting things on. Or if I'm doing some work, I can set the desk up looking out the back and just use this as like desk space. So food in these ones. This is like my bathroom cabinet, as it were. This one's my admin, which is, we'll keep that one closed. And then water, I just use like jerry cans. I didn't steal these from the Marines. 25 litre jerry cans of water. I don't think I'm very good at doing stuff, and I didn't want to be putting like a water tank underneath the van and all this. Like that's too complicated for me. But like a bottle of water, you need more than that. So yeah, I've got the jerry cans. And then I just boxed out the wheel arch there. Initially, I used to have, so I've got my chargers here. Literally, that's all I use is my phone, USB phone socket in that one. On this side, so normally this is like fruit and veg in here, and then I found that my shoes would just be all over the floor and I needed to make something. So I just used a bit of copper pipe in, little shoe space. Yeah, I was gonna tidy it up a little bit before you guys came, but I didn't. So essentially, like I've got the split charge on the leisure battery, which runs, I've got 3 12-volt LED lights, and literally like I hardly ever use them. I don't like them. I'll show you my storm lantern later on. I just use a storm lantern or candles, and then I've got gas, just a little can of gas, which obviously depending on how much I'm using, it depends how long it lasts. I've got a diesel heater, but that broke years ago, and so it's tough in the winter, but I've got a new one and I will get that fitted. The floor, I wanted a bare wood floor. I had this idea, this vision, like I said, I built the van on a vision of just sitting on a bare wood floor, looking out over the ocean. And then the walls, everything's just 3mm ply, so it's pretty thin, 3mm ply with some wallpaper, just trying to keep the weight down. I wanted to build a 4-poster bed, and this is driftwood that I got from when I was surfing down on the Gower. And it's kind of nice being able to shut yourself off in the bed. And then I put all my storages underneath the bed. So I built these pull-out drawers. They're about 1.5 meters long, and it's just literally where all that is clothes. I've got all my magic gear, and then these are like big chest drawers, which again they pull out almost the whole length of the bed, a good 1.5 meters. And then in the side I've got my surfboard. Yoga mat and surfboard just goes down there because you've got that natural dead space when you've built the bed, and it fits a surfboard perfectly there. This is my storm lantern, and I much prefer just having that on. It's just oil and a little wick, and it gives, you end up sitting in here on an evening, maybe some music on, a little lantern on, and you forget that you're sitting in the back of a van. It's like a little cabin. It's got such a nice feel. Like everything that I've got in the van is from, like this is Kilimanjaro, this is the Maasai. Just on the canvas print when I was out in Africa. This is for the Marines. Everything's got like a little meaning behind it. I've got a little corner cabinet here, and I don't really use the side door, but there is like a little bit of access. This is my cycling kit in here. Obviously I've got my bike. I'll open the side door to show you from the other side. This would be like my garage space. So I've got my racer in here, and then I'd also have like my suits and everything for magic, suits and shirts, like kind of wardrobe. I've got a copper pipe there, so that'd be wardrobe and garage essentially. And then I've got little flaps, so like if I have to slide out of bed into the cab to drive off. But yeah, I've got bedding, and I've got camping stuff as well. Me and my bro do motorbike trips, so we've got a teepee and that sort of stuff. Yeah, the bed looks small. It's 4 foot by, this is 5.5 foot. And then this, I put this up, which just gives me another foot, and I prop that with it, obviously with the shelving, with the drawers, and it just gives me like 6.5 foot by 4 foot, which is, it's plenty big enough. Like, you know, sometimes people look and go, oh, your bed's quite small, but like, get your boots off and jump up there and have a starfish, and you feel it's all right. I much prefer this setup because it allows me to get the motorbike in. I can do yoga, I can do press-ups, I can do sit-ups in the van if I need to. You know, if it's, it just gives me that space. I much prefer this setup. It's annoying with the kitchen being over the back axle, because when you go over speed bumps or whatever, everything's bouncing around. It's like a washing machine, and just stuff gets smashed. So I'm ready for a change now. So for toilet and shower, like I've got a gym membership at Nuffield, but it's got the sauna, the steam room, obviously the gym and the toilets. There's also your big supermarkets, Sainsbury's, Tesco's, there's that sort of stuff. There's pubs, you know, so you can't, like, I didn't like the idea of going to the toilet in a van. Do you know, like, I'd much rather go to a toilet. In terms of shower, I shower every morning, because sometimes it's cold. I started this habit of when I got up, I'd just go running to warm myself up. So I've got this kind of cool habit now where I run, get back, cold shower. And I was going to build a shower out the back, but I ended up just filling up 2 water bottles of washing with that, and I've never upgraded it because it doesn't need upgraded.
So your shower is like bottles of water?
My shower's there. Next to that's my cake. That's my shower. Like, I'll go for a swim in the river now, and then I'll shower off with it, and it's like literally I just fill up 2 bottles, and that's plenty. Like, if I'm in a town, I'll reverse the back into like the corner of a car park, or I'll reverse the back end of the van onto something so it's a little bit more discreet. And if I'm in a town, I'll just wear my shorts. But if I'm out in nature, like, it's all right. I just fill up, wash off, soap up, wash off, good to go, kettle on. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, the lifestyle, because essentially that's my bedroom, kitchen, living room at that space, which means I'm in this space a lot more, which is nice when the weather's nice, but when the weather's bad, it's a double-edged sword. Van life can be tough, it can be cold, it can be lonely. When you're wet, it's pretty miserable. You haven't got a place to hang all your wet kit up, so it can be tough. But when it's sunny and you can find like a nice spot to park up in, it can be super beautiful. I think that's the trouble, is trying to find nice places where you can park. You know, people aren't going to want you parking outside their house, on their road, on their land, in a beauty spot. We don't, you know, so you are kind of shunned away from a lot of places as well, which makes it's unwelcoming. You go some places and it's like literally you can pull off the road like this, park here and you'll be fine. But then Devon and Cornwall, I found it super hard trying to find somewhere where I can just pull off the road and park up. Man, so the cost of van life, I think it's one of those, it could be pretty expensive and it could be minimal cost depending on how much traveling you're doing. So I end up driving a lot, so my fuel bill is a lot, but then I'm not paying any other bills. Servicing and everything for the van obviously adds up, you know, just the general running cost of the van, it's there, but you can offset that. So I perform magic, so that will kind of counterbalance those costs. And then I have a house. I bought a house before I left the Marines because I knew that I wasn't going to go into conventional work, and I knew that I'd probably struggle with getting a mortgage. So I got the house and I'm able to rent out 2 bedrooms on the rent a room scheme, which allows you to earn 7.5 grand tax free. So doing that allows me to have a house, but it not cost me, and I cash flow a little bit. The magic, the property, and then every now and then I'll pick up a job. Friends from the ex-military, there's always kind of work around, whether that's doing a little bit of security or working abroad, and they can be good, you know, good day rates. You know, if I can earn like 10, 20 grand in a year, that'll cover me for the year, you know, easily. Least favourite part of living in the van is being lonely. The whole, like, I always say like every day is a Saturday for me, because it's like I'm off, but everyone else is at work. So that just kind of like, it would be really nice to have, you know, like go to the gym with someone, go cycling together, go surfing together, but a lot of people are at work. So I think just the loneliness and parking spots can be a tricky one. And then when the weather's cold or wet, it can be it closes your world up, and it's that kind of cabin fever. Favourite is I've got ultimate freedom. So finishing off at the military, like that was my life, and it was full on, and I wanted freedom and flexibility, and the van facilitated that. Nah, it's definitely not for everybody. Like it is hard, it is tough. It's easy to make van life look real nice, and it's a lot harder than, so I was thinking about this on the drive up. I was thinking it's a lot harder than it seems, but then I was thinking maybe it's not, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's the type of person you are, because, you know, some people would be happy every day. Do you know what I mean? It's, yeah, I think I found it hard. I found van life hard, and it's kind of like living out of a suitcase, but on a bigger level. And I really want to have like a home base. you know, so like I want to have where you can get up in a bedroom and you've got a chest of drawers and a wardrobe and you've got a bathroom, like just that, and you can go downstairs to the kitchen, you can open the doors, get the sunlight. Like I would like to, there's a reason everyone lives in a house, isn't there? Like maybe 10,000 years ago we were nomadic and this kind of, but yeah, no, there's a reason everyone lives in a house. I'm holding two contradicting ideas because I want a home base here and a family and structure, routine, that sort of stuff, but I want to have the adventure as well. So I have this idea of having a place where I can kind of start that, but I still want to keep the vans so that I can go up to North Devon, I can go down into Spain and still have the adventure. I think what it is everything comes at a cost. Everything comes at a cost. So there's a cost to this life, and maybe that is not having the family life. My main sort of bit for putting stuff out into the world is on Instagram, and it's The Magic Marine. There's a lot less magic on there now and a lot more wellness, cold water dipping, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that kind of thing. But always happy to link in with anyone for getting in the water, doing some Jiu-Jitsu, whatever. And thanks for watching.
Alright guys, we hope you enjoyed that video, and a big thanks to James for sharing a story with us and showing us around his van.
Make sure to give James a follow, all the links will be in the description below. And if you want to support our channel, give us a like, a comment and a sub and all that, and we'll see you in the next video.